Hey, what's going on, folks? Larry Peckmesser's Dog Training. All right, so yesterday, some of you may have seen that someone asked a question on one of the e-collar groups on Facebook. It was a very long and detailed question that he had about a bad experience with a trainer with e-collar. It's common. This is everyday stuff, guys, okay? Everyday stuff. I'm kind of blown away that in this day and age, with how much good information is out there, that people still struggle and continue to utilize the tool the way it was utilized 30 years ago. And that's exactly what's going on with people that should not have this tool in their hands. Plain and simple, okay? So I told that individual to call me. He did. We talked. I told him what happened to the dog and who trained the dog before he said anything, because I see it and talk to people all day long, every day, okay? All day long, and we talked. And I told him what needed to be done. After that, a bunch of you from that forum, that page, started sending me emails, what did you tell him to do? All the same stuff. What I don't understand, guys, is I'm not doing anything different, okay? And I'm not saying that I'm the one you have to follow, that everything I do is the best, follow me, don't follow these people. But I mean, come on, guys. I mean, enough is enough. We struggle enough with keeping this tool in our hands. And the problem is because of the jerk-offs that train that individual's dog. Plain and simple. And unfortunately, that's still the vast majority, okay? So you guys had very specific questions for me, everything under the sun, and I was kind of frustrated. I didn't answer them because I'm thinking, holy shit, I've talked about this for the past 10 years till I'm blue in the face, okay? Let me break it down as simple as I can. And this is the way I do things. You don't have to do it. I'm just telling you. You guys ask me specific questions on what I do. I'm going to tell you what I do, all right? I teach everything through positive reinforcement, through motivation, with food and toys. Let me say that again. I teach everything with motivation. I teach everything with positive reinforcement. I teach nothing with the e-collar. Let me repeat that again. I teach nothing with the e-collar. I do not use the e-collar to teach obedience. Actually, it's the exact opposite. I use the obedience that the dog knows very well to teach what that strange foreign stimulation of the e-collar means. That doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but it is as simple as it gets. The stimulation from an e-collar, a shock collar, a remote collar, whatever you want to call it, is completely foreign to a dog. So the reason I have the success I do with the tool, why people want to know, why do my dogs look the way they do, and every dog gets an e-collar. Every dog gets e-collar trained. My dog's clients' dogs, why do they look the way they do? It's very simple. There's a lot of motivation there, and there's no confusion, okay? There's no conflict in the training. Let me take that back. There's always some conflict. Some conflict's okay. But a lot of people are living with 100% conflict. The dog doesn't do, hammer it, light it up. It's the same shit over and over. I mean, come on now, people. Okay, come on. So again, if you continue to use it as purely a punisher and a reinforcer, you will never achieve what you can with modern dog training today. You are living 30 years ago, okay? So almost 40 years ago, when I was out in the field hunting pheasants, I saw people. I hated the e-collars. I heard the dogs yelping and screaming, running all over the place with no obedience whatsoever. And there's still people today that use the tool that way. So think about that, okay? A lot of you follow people you should not be following that can't train a dog to save their life. That's a fact. That's going to get a lot of hate mail to me, but I really don't give a shit at this point. Let's face it. A lot of you follow pure marketers that can't train a dog to save their life and should not be using the tool. That's all there is to it. It's that simple. So I'm at a point in my life where after I wrote the book, it's almost 2 years now, I honestly thought I would never have to talk about e-collars again. That was, I know, super ignorant of me. and maybe very narcissistic too. I don't know. But my intention is always good. And it's not, listen, I'm throwing away a ton of money that I could be making right now. I really am. I do a lot of stuff for free because I think it's so important that people get educated, not just about the tool, but dog training. All right, it's just unbelievable. So I remember a while back on one of the other forums when I talked about this, there was a trainer. She lashed out at me, basically saying I'm full of shit. This doesn't happen in the dog world because she's not hearing about it. She's not seeing it. And you know what? The funny thing is, it wasn't a month later that I talked to several people. You know why she wasn't seeing it? She was one of them doing it. I never said anything. I don't call people out by name. I don't try to ruin someone's business, you know, and I don't do it to try to better myself. I don't have to better my business. I just don't. But guys, the e-collar, it's the best tool we have. Okay, so again, let me break it down one more time. I teach everything through positive reinforcement. I want the dog's obedience to be very strong. Then I use that obedience to teach the meaning of the e-collar, because when it's taught properly and the dog is literate to the stimulation, when the dog truly understands it and there's no confusion, then yes, I can make everything better, everything faster, everything sharper. And yes, I can stop all those unwanted behaviors. Not only me, but all of you can. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people out there doing good things and doing right things. And it doesn't have to be exactly the way I do it. A lot of good trainers out there, guys, you know. And a lot of you know, I recommend many of you to people all the time. I don't want no one driving 18 hours to come train with me. I'm going to find you a good trainer along the way that I trust. But when I recommend a trainer, one of the first things I look at is, would I send my dog to this trainer? And so if they do produce good results, but just important, if they do train humanely and treat people and dogs right, then I'll recommend you. But if I think that someone's a complete asshole and doesn't treat dogs right, well, of course I'm not going to recommend someone. And sometimes it's a simple formula, right? If a trainer can treat people like shit, imagine what they do with dogs. But that's just the way I think, okay? So I'm sorry this is a little aggressive for the last day of the year, you know, but I mean, come on, guys. You gotta wake up. You know, you gotta wake up. There's no reason for it this day and age. I talk to tons of you every single day and I do my best to help, but you're not changing what you do. And then I talk to you and you're trying to do what I do, but then I see you following people that are exactly the people I'm talking about here. I'm like, there's too much confusion there. Too much confusion. So instead of going to 30 seminars and workshops a month, okay, and following 30 different trainers all over the world every single month, you know, start spending some time on really training and working with the dogs and learn. That's the only way you get better, guys. Workshops and seminars, they're great, you know, but until you put your hands on a lot of dogs and really perfect what you already know, you're wasting your time. You really are. So I love the e-collar. I'm the biggest advocate for it you'll ever see. I use an e-collar on every dog I train. But at the same time, I think if you continue to go to trainers who can't train a dog without an e-collar, without a prong collar, you're doing yourself a disservice. You really are. Okay, so it's that simple. One more time, I teach everything through positive reinforcement. I use the obedience that the dog knows very well to teach the e-collar. Then, once the dog understands the e-collar, I can use it to make everything better, faster, sharper, and stop unwanted behaviors. And you guys see what the dogs look like when we're done. Okay? Think about what the other dogs look like that you see from some of these other people posting videos, right? Flattened fucking pancakes with their face plastered to a placeboard, and that's where they live. Think about that. Again, I'm going to get a lot of hate mail. But I figured it's the last day of the year. I haven't upset anyone in a while. My intentions are always good, and they're not self-serving, okay? They're not self-serving. This doesn't benefit me at all. This will cause me more grief than anything, believe me. But if you want to keep the tool, stop following and going to assholes who have no absolutely no ability to use the damn thing. There's too many good people out there, guys. Stop following marketers, YouTube trainers. You guys ever ask some of these people with big followings, hey, where'd you learn how to train dogs? Where'd you learn how to use the e-collar? You know where? A lot of them? YouTube. Okay? Just saying. Now, on a lighter note, hope you guys have a really great New Year, guys. It's New Year's Eve. Everyone stay safe, have a good time tonight, and start the new year right. If you have questions about this, hit me up. I'm always open. I put my phone number on that page yesterday. That individual called me within 5 minutes, and we talked, okay? That's what I want to do. I want to help as many people as I can and continue to learn myself. Peace.